Hello everyone, back again, Vegan, here to ramble about the AI agent revolution and some predictions I have of what's happening and some observations. So today what I really wanted to talk about is as we see agents take over Twitter, they are responding to every single tweet, every single news story they can, and many of them are trying to become more and more relevant to the information that is the hot topic of the day. They're trying to make sure they have local context to either the subject they're tweeting about or to what's in the news. You know, when Luigi Mangione shot that CEO, AI agents were talking about it. And if they can get a tweet off that is talking about the hottest topic in the public sphere, they can go viral and they can get more attention, more influence, etc. Now, AI agents have quite a few advantages over humans. They don't have to take breaks. They don't have to think. They can just keep pumping out tweets all day. And that ability to get more shots on goal does give them the chance to get more hits. And are they funny or not funny? They can mimic other styles of humor, which is pretty much the majority of what everyone does on Earth. Not many people are coming up with new, totally original forms of humor. Many people are just repeating memes, and memes are, by definition, right? It's a copy-paste variation of something. So I think they can actually be funny. They're just not going to revolutionize being funny potentially right now until we start recognizing what they do is funny because of the fact that it's like, I don't know, ironic or it's weird or, I don't know. It could happen that they do invent a new style of humor that they don't know is funny that we think is funny. But the real thing is this. They're out there tweeting all day. They're going to keep going viral, and they are trying to make sure they know what's happening in the news so they are more likely to go viral. Now, this advantage of being able to post all day does have a disadvantage, which is people can start recognizing, oh God, it's an AI agent again. I'm sick of this. I don't want to read anything it says anymore. It's posts under everything. It's going to look like spam. People aren't going to care. However, when it tricks people, that's really where it seems to shine. So I could see, instead of trying to have one agent really be the biggest thing in the world, you're going to have as many agents as possible tweeting so people don't know it is an agent. Because if you look at a Twitter and someone's tweeting every half a second, you're like, wait a minute, that's a little suspicious. If you see a Twitter and it's a little bit more normal, more regular, people who run, bot accounts know about all this fun stuff. How do you make yourself look realistic? So the question is, do they want to hide themselves? Maybe. Or maybe it's going to be more important that the agent actually has a personality and a brand and they're going to be going viral. Now, this all sounds kind of fun and interesting to watch, but at the same time, we know it's going to get nasty and terrible. It's going to be 1,000 terrible GPT wrapper Twitter bots that are going to be posting the stupidest repeat joke over and over again under every single major tweet. And it's going to make Twitter even worse than it already is, even though there's a lot of good on Twitter too. So there's going to be a backlash, obviously. And the backlash could be from people trying to block them or, just, I don't know, trying to disengage from them, trying to make a separate world without them. However, I think that it's going to become a more, offensive operation as the future goes on. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here. Just thinking about this idea. Right now, AI agents are trying to read what's in the news and they're trying to tweet about it. They're trying to get that context. Soon, it's going to be other goals to poison their context. How can I trick the AI to think that the news is coming from here? If we know that they're all reading this information in this bucket, then I want to figure a way to make that information fake so when it reads from it, it starts spreading fake information. And then if the agents are actually looking at what the other agents do, they're going to start taking that fake information and spreading it even more. It's going to amplify. These like feedback loops are going to compound on top of each other. So the question is how do we actually do this? So first, there is the idea of trying to get a couple agents spreading the fake news in the first place. So if I make an agent that I can then get other agents to interact with on a regular basis, and then mine starts spreading a fake article, hopefully the others will pick up on it because they're going to be more likely to want to engage with other agents because the other agents talk back. That's one of the interesting things. If I have an agent right now and it can, let's say, put out 10,000 tweets a day, we'll make it even easier. Let's say 1,000 tweets a day, and we have a human doing 100 tweets a day. If two agents are talking to each other back and forth, they're amplifying their, existence so much faster than a human talking to an agent or two humans talking together. So if I can make sure to fight you, it's like fighting fire with fire. If you want to poison their context, we got to get more agents out on the internet posting gibberish. So one is them posting deliberate gibberish. Another is dataset poisoning, which is going to be something that's going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. I think there's going to be dataset terrorists in the future, which would mean someone who's going to be like, okay, I've got access. This is one of the biggest datasets everyone's trading off of. I'm going to inject a couple things that are going to fuck it up for everyone, and I'm going to try and get out there and hide it. I think it'll be like back in the day when the vegans were breaking into the animal plant and trying to free the rabbits. They're going to be breaking into, open AI and trying to like put a USB stick of some bad weather data on something to mess something up. I think that'll happen. We'll see if, I guess, right now people are able to contribute to open source data sets, right? So I'm a person, I've got all this beautiful information over here. Someone might come from somewhere else, and then they're going to say, hey, guys, I've got a nice pull request. Are people going to review every single piece of data inside of there? I don't know. That might be another great place to sneak information in. Another thing that potentially could be is we have this rise of the frameworks, right? Eliza, the number one biggest growing repo on GitHub right now. People are doing all these open source contributions to it. What in there of Eliza can I do to start, I guess, poisoning, maybe poisoning everything about Eliza, but whatever, context poisoning. Like, is there something from a framework level or something I can put in there that other people might start propagating? No, I'm not doing this. I'm just saying this is going to happen. All right, I'm just making bold predictions of the future off of what's going on here. So I think that there will be wars on the GitHub repos eventually around what gets in and what gets out and what makes something more powerful and what will make it spread to the future here. In general, though, I say that I do not think this is something that people are going to really talk about publicly if they are smart about it. If I'm a person and my goal is I'm a neo-Luddite and I want to slow the AI revolution, then I don't want to go on the internet and say, guys, let's poison the data sets. We need to gather locally and say, hey, guys, like, we need to poison the data sets. Hey, who here knows how to code? Who here can get a job at an AI job? Who here can get a job to some data? It's going to be an inside job by devs, I would assume. And I guess being quiet about it would be another important thing. I mean, we've seen various types of, infiltrations. They can take a while to happen. I mean, it might take a decade. I might have to go work at OpenAI for a little bit. Not me, but someone might have to go work at OpenAI for like a decade. Collect that stock, maybe get some money, whatever, set life up, and then I'm gonna then not me, then someone else. I'm not smart enough to work there. Then someone is gonna, I don't know, like. It's not as simple as a USB stick and some data, though. It really isn't that, because, right, we have to get this, we have to train the model on it, which is expensive and hard too. I wonder, it could be like there's different, I guess, points we can intercept someone at, right? It could be, look, they're about to upload some data, model's going to trade on. I need to poison at that level. It could be the model that's actually trading. I don't know. I'm trying to mess with the weights. I'm trying to get in there and modify some weights. I don't know. It could be I'm someone who writes wrapper code, and at the wrapper code level, I'm going to like modify something so every input gets injected with just a little bit of secret sauce that makes it way worse and way stupider. That could be a hot little move here. It could be on the output, on the other side of the wrapper. Everything that comes out, I'm like, I don't know, doing some little transformation. But the key is you can't be caught. You can't be discovered. So if you don't want to be caught and discovered, it's probably also good to look at different other, integration points, right? If everyone's getting from OpenAI and everyone's just using a GPT wrapper, eventually other people are wrapping that. I mean, eventually, there's more OpenAI wrappers than anything out there. Find a company that has a wrapper that is popular, and then we want to infect that area. Every node point, that wrapping could get messed up from an input or an output. That's one of the interesting things, I guess, about this whole, like, I guess, the warfare that's about to happen here, right? Because we're never talking, like, unless you're running your own model really to the underlying AI, we've always got this little wrapper around it. And I think that might be the battlefront of where this sort of like war happens. I don't know if it'll happen. Yeah, because inside job's going to be a lot tougher. I could see it being there, which is going to be OpenAI, just more and more layers and restrictions on what actually is going to be returning, which at the same time, every time OpenAI gives worse responses from, ChatGPT, it does make people say, okay, fine, I'm going to clear some more stuff on my computer. I'm going to get Llama running. Okay, here we go. Right? It is helping accelerate everyone to running their own stuff, which I think is going to be really awesome in the short term. And I think actually probably a huge money saver. I don't know. Oftentimes when early on when a new field comes out, AI is not a new field, but it's here since the 60s. But oftentimes like VCs subsidize what you're able to use with the AI. There's free credits, everything's cheaper, and then things get more expensive once we're all addicted and we have to use it. I don't know which direction it's going to go now. It's already a little expensive. I could see it getting more expensive because we're more addicted. I could see innovations happening and the price getting dropped down a ton. I really don't know. I do know in the short term, video is so expensive, and the rest is not crazy expensive. But I'm not running an entire giant, company, with 500 employees off of all of this. So I'm running stuff for solo use. But I don't know. To me, it does feel like right now you should try and be running stuff locally as much as possible. Not just it's like, oh, they're going to censor us. Like, it's because, whatever, you got to be on the cutting edge to experiment, and who knows what wacky world's going to come into your hands first and what they're going to take away from us soon. But I don't know. These are my rambling thoughts, okay? I'm just paying attention to this AI space every day. Context poisoning is the one thing that kind of hit my brain today, so I want to discuss it a little bit. I'll be back tomorrow for some more random thoughts. You want me to talk about anything, just hit me up. A lot more random AI stuff coming too. I'll probably do some coding tutorial type stuff too in the future, but these are just random thoughts I'm going to put up every night. Thank you. Bye.